Hi, so I just did a really long video and I don't know if this one will come out before that one or not, but yeah, so I'm kind of feeling a little slow down after that, but anyway, I did want to do a separate video for this, and this is something that I got from Aldi back before Christmas. I think I've had this for a few weeks ago. I've opened it, but I have not touched it really. Like, I've looked at it, but I have not like swatched it or anything. So I'd like to swatch this. And what it is it's like a dupe for the Urban Decay Smoky Palette. So there's a lot of hype on the Facebook community or Facebook group, the Aldi Isle of Shame group. Oh my goodness, I don't know how I got to become a part of that group. It just popped up on my feed one day, and I thought Isle of Shame meant that it was for products from Aldi that weren't good. Because I'd recently, like, I've been shopping at Aldi for several years now, but more so lately than in the past, and long story short, there's something there that I get on a regular basis that I used to like, but the quality hasn't been there. It's been kind of iffy the past few months that I've gotten it, and so I was thinking, oh, this is good. Let me see what other people have been, like, you know, if other people have been having this problem. And then I quickly learned that Isle of Shame means the aisle of stuff at Aldi that is not groceries. Like all the other, like the home goods and random stuff. So I've learned about the Aldi products, the beauty and skincare items, in which I will say that I have is it Lacura? It's Lacura or Lacura? I'm not sure how to say that. What's the right way to say it? But they have moisturizer, and they have like a daytime moisturizer, a nighttime moisturizer, and then like a hydro moisturizer, like I guess it's like a water based moisturizer, a gel moisturizer. Anyway, I have the nighttime moisturizer. It's fine, nothing super great, but it's not bad either. It's fine. I would even compare it to like some of my Clinique moisturizers and my well, there's some other moisturizers, but anyway, it's not bad. It ain't great, but it's not bad, and it's like under $4. So for under $4, it's super. And then I've got the Hydra or some. I haven't even touched that one yet. I feel I'm wondering. People are saying that it's similar to is it Neutrogena has like one that's like a Hydra whatever gel, and then I've got one from Philosophy, which is like the water gel stuff. That's like, I think it's part of the Hope in a Jar line, maybe, but which that one's all right. It's not great. It's not bad. I got it on sale. So for the price I paid, it's alright, but it's nothing. I definitely wouldn't pay full price for it. It ain't that great, and it's almost drying to my skin. Like, it makes my skin feel moisturized, but to the surface it's drying. And it's like, if I wore makeup, or if I put it on during the daytime and then put makeup over it, it'd be great. Like, if it, you know, for under makeup, it'd probably be fantastic. But for a nighttime moisturizer, I'm just kind of like, I've had better. In which the Lacura nighttime moisturizer is definitely better than that one. It feels better. It's still, I could do a whole other video if anybody's actually interested in that, but I mean, it definitely moisturizes. You can see that it moisturizes your skin, okay? But it's a nighttime moisturizer, and when I wake up, it's all like fully absorbed and everything's fine, dandy, great, swell, wonderful, fantastic. So anyway, so this is like a dupe. So I saw these on the Facebook group, and there's like 4 different ones, and I saw that there's like one that was like a dupe of Naked 3, which I have that one, which honestly, like, I loved Urban Decay, and I think I've talked favorably of the Naked 3 palette, but to be honest, the quality of it ain't that great. For Urban Decay, it ain't that great. It's not my favorite palette. I got it when I got the very, like, I think I got it within the first day or two that they released it. So it is an old palette, but I remember when I first got it, I wanted so badly to love it that I convinced myself that it was better than it actually was, and it ain't great. It ain't, quality-wise, it ain't great. Color story-wise, like I heard, because I remember like people were hyping that one up because they were saying, oh, it's perfect. If you have fair skin, blonde hair, blue eyes, it's like the perfect palette for you. And I was like, oh, great. Like, I'm not a neutral person, but I was like, why not? Like, my favorite brand, why not? And then Urban Decay became like the Naked. Like, it's funny how they went from being known for their bright, out there, bold colors, glitter, to being known for like neutrals. Like, I have just lately, it seems like so many people are like, Urban Decay is known for their neutrals. Their neutral palettes. And I was like, oh my gosh. There was a point in my life where I loved dupes, and I still kind of do, but at the same time, I kind of don't. Especially for brands that I really like. Like, I'm kind of like, about dupes. And I'm not really into Urban Decay dupes. Though I will say, like, the ColourPop dupe, the Ritz dupe of Midnight was the original, for Space Cowboy. Like, all that hype with Space Cowboy Moon Dust Shadow. Like, I went with the ColourPop version of it, or like the ones that people claim are like close to it. Because, I mean, I like ColourPop, and it was like $7. Seriously, I think it was $6, but now it's like $7. I think I paid like $7 for it, or got on sale and it was originally $7. Whatever, anyway. But when somebody, like when a company full on rips off, it's kind of like iffy about it, especially on a cheaper brand. Which, people have said that, like, in regards to the moisturizer, that this Lacura brand, in Germany, now correct me if I'm wrong, there are probably people who know way better, but in Germany, or I guess all Europe, but I think because Aldi is like specifically like from a German, like that's the origin of the company, that the Lacura, am I saying that right, or is it Lacura, or is it totally different than either of those pronunciations, that it's equivalent to like the Estee Lauder skincare. Now they're not saying it's like a dupe for Estee Lauder, but it's like on the same level as Estee Lauder. So if that's the case, awesome, but this is a makeup product, so I don't know if that holds true as well, or because this is America, you know, they cheapen things for America, or America cheapens things. So I have not swatched this. I've just looked at it, like I said, no swatching, and so I would like to swatch this. But anyway, so there was the Naked 3 dupe, there was what looked like the honey dupe, and then there was this one, which is the smoky eyes, which I initially thought that maybe it would be a dupe for either Naked 1 or Naked 2, but I believe that there was another, there were 4 altogether, this one, those 2, and then there's another one, which might have been the dupe for Naked 2. And I was hoping, like, so I saw this in store and I opened it, and it was $6, which is not bad, but I wasn't sure if I really wanted it. But I wanted to open it in store for 2 reasons. One, see if it had been touched or anything, which I figured it hadn't, because when I found it, it still had like the cardboard around the outside, and I had lifted up the cardboard so other people could like see the whole, like, to actually see into the display. Like, it had all the little cardboard, I'm going brain dead. Anyway, it still had most of the original, like, outer packaging to the box, display packaging that needed to be removed so that you could see the display. Anyway, the cardboard partitions that was in between each little palette. So I, like, lifted that up so that you could actually see what the display was. Because they had another display out that had been ransacked. So I saw that, and it's like, oh, they got all 4 palettes. So, and I wasn't, before going, I wasn't, like I said, I knew that they had the Naked 3 and the honey dupe, but I wasn't sure what the other ones were dupes of. So, I was hoping to get either a dupe of Naked 1 or the Naked 2, and I think that the other one, the fourth palette that I can't remember, I think that was supposed to be a dupe for Naked 2, and I wish I had gone it. But to me, from memory, and I could be very wrong, it seemed like it looked more like the packaging made it look like it was more bronzy, and I don't remember Naked 2 being that bronzy, and I know Naked 1 wasn't that bronzy. I never had the Naked 1 palette myself, but funny story. There was a makeup bag that was found in my yard, and a bunch of higher end makeup and Ipsy stuff scattered in the yard, and neighbor had notified me about it, and I mean front yard and backyard. And one of those, like, it had been out there for days apparently because it had been rained on. And one of the items was the Naked 1 palette, and with it being a cardboard packaging and whatnot, the packaging was ruined, but the inside was like dry and everything. So I kept those. I didn't use them, did not use them. Most of them were like used, but I kept the little pans just to like reference, you know, like so that I could swatch and match it to other stuff I had to try to swatch it, because that way I could, like, I cleaned each one with alcohol anyway, but you know, I just wanted it for reference. And I was like, oh man, I like the Naked 1 palette, and in hindsight I wish I had bought it at some point, you know, before they discontinued it. They kept trying to sell it off, and I was like, oh, they're not gonna really discontinue it, but they did. But anyway, I was hoping for a dupe of that. And like I said, this one's smoky. So they, at one point, I remember they did have the smoky palette. So I found it online, like, and it does match. It looks like it is pretty much a dupe, like an exact dupe of the smoky palette. So that's a long introduction, but here it is. And which, like I said, I was opening it up in the store, and it was so nice and neat. And like when I opened it up, I ripped the box, and I was like, well, you know, I better do the right thing and buy it regardless. So I also was making sure that it wasn't cracked, because you know sometimes in shipping things get jostled around and eyeshadows get cracked, and everything was intact, because I was like, well, if it's cracked, then they'll damage it out. Like if it's out on the floor, they can damage it out. You know, that's pretty normal. I just didn't want a broken palette. I didn't want a used palette, and I didn't want a broken palette. But so here's the exteriors. It's the typical, like, that metal. I don't know if it's metal, like if it's like an aluminum, or if it's like some kind of plastic, but I always assume that's metal because it's, I don't know. So like with Urban Decay, it comes with the brush, and yeah, the colors, they're nice. They're definitely, like, it's like it says, it's smoky. So, and I've said it before, but I'm not really a neutral, not really a earth tony neutral type of eyeshadowy person. I love bright sparkly colors, bold sparkly colors, exciting colors, but you know, I just wanted one. And for $6, I mean, if it's junk quality, then it's junk quality. I mean, it's not like a huge investment, not like a huge loss, but there are a few shimmers down here on this end. And I don't know, hopefully you can read the names. Personally, I don't want to read off the names right now. I might do it. I'm not sure if I'm going to do it. I may do like the swatch, like right here, like this. I was thinking about maybe doing like overhead swatch where you just see me like do it on my hand, which those are nicer, but it's harder to film. It's like extremely hard to film, get that set up to film. So I may just like hold it up to y'all. But anyway, but I'm not into mattes, and I've got like dozens of palettes, but you know, if the quality is nice, then yeah. So I really just wanted to see if this was comparable to the quality of Urban Decay, so we'll get ready to swatch these. I think I'm going to start from this end and work my way across to that one. So, and these aren't going to be accurate color swatches per se because the lighting situation, but you know, just to kind of compare the quality. So I'm going to start off with the first one, which is pure, and I'm probably not going to be able to hold it. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how this goes. Just kind of, you may not see me actually do the finger part, but let me just kind of rub it on the back of my hand. So, okay. Yeah, I think the quality is there. It feels silky smooth. Like, there wasn't a lot of, like a lot of powder residue. You know, sometimes cheaper eyeshadows have that powder residue from the talc, and then the second one is called Spice. So the first one, Pure, was kind of like a, I don't know, I'm gonna have a hard time explaining these colors because they're, you know, colors can be different to different people. But the first one, the Pure, was like a kind of a peachy, like a peachy shimmer. And the second one, Spice, is more like a gold kind of shimmer. Well, I say shimmer, like a pearl. I guess like a pearly satiny finish. Like, there's really, it's not really shimmery at all. Like, it doesn't have the little flecks. Like, it's very, like, fine. I don't know if that makes sense. It's very metallic, very, maybe not metallic would be the right word. They're satiny. Let's just put it like a satiny, pearly finish. There we go. And then the next one would be Bronze. So that is like a legitimate bronze color, but so far the texture is nice. Like, the color payoff, just that one swatch, like, the color payoff is there. And then the next one will be a Fossil, which Fossil is kind of like a deeper, kind of more of a warmer bronze color. That one looks like it may have, yeah, that one definitely has fine shimmer to it. You can actually see like silver shimmer in it. No, the lighting is not helping. Shoot. Oh, everything is so washed out on camera, like, does that help? I mean, so far, just swatching wise, like, the feel of the shadows, quality's there. Like, definitely quality. I feel like it's swatching, like, even though this is not the dupe of the Naked 3 palette, I feel like the quality of the shadows is higher quality than that palette that I got. Which, yes, the palette that I got from Urban Decay, I bought it from Sephora inside of a JCPenney when it was first released. So, this next color is Thunder, and it's like a dark gray, and it looks like, it's like a matte color, but I'm seeing shimmer in the palette. I don't know if it'll pick up on camera. It's very slight, so I don't know if that came off of one of the other, like if it came off of Fossil, or if it's kind of shimmery in its own right, even though it's like a matte. But yeah, it's just like that. And then this next one, Slate, I don't know, it's like a kind of like another gray, like a darker gray, like a cooler tone gray. But even though it's cooler tone, it's like it almost has like a brown, oh, whatever. Why am I always brain dead? Like a brown undertone to it. So there it is. Like, even though it appears darker, it looks on my hand, it looks lighter. And then the next one is Chainmail, which that is definitely a, like a deeper gray. That's almost like a black. Like, that's probably closest to black in this whole palette. Maybe it is supposed to be black, I don't know. I mean, I think it is supposed to be black, because I've had black, like, supposed to be like higher end black shadows that aren't even that well pigmented. I mean, it's not like a blacky black, but if it's not black, then it's like a dark enough gray to pass for black. That's all I'm saying. The next one is Violet, which in the pan, Violet looks brown. Like, okay, so this one right here is Violet. I mean, I know my eyesight isn't that great, but I mean, I promise you, to me it looks brown. I'm curious. Maybe it's brown with like a purple base to it, like, but I'm seeing brown even though, like, I mean, that does say Violet right there. Can you read that word? Like, I'm confused, but okay. Let me wipe off my fingers. That Violet, she don't want to come off. Can you see? Like, it's kind of staining around the edge. She pigmented. She don't look violet to me, but she pigmented. That's for sure. Okay, and then the last four. The next one would be Iron. I'm gonna wait for my fingers to dry off. So Iron, like right there, that almost looks like it has kind of like a beigey undertone. Like it's a deep, dark beige color to me. Like a light brown. Or like a taupe kind of color. Like, I don't know. I know my explanations, descriptions are all over the place, but I feel like Iron would have been more of like a gray, like a silvery gray color. Maybe that's just my misconception. Okay, and then Copper. Copper looks like a true, just basic brown. You would think that Copper would be more like a red, and maybe be, like more shiny. Like this is, I mean, it's like in between like a satin and a matte. Like it's not full on matte, but it's not full on satin either. And then the second to the last one is called Pink Lace. Like, I know it's not really picking up, but Pink Lace is more to me like a skin tone, like a, almost like a, to me it's just like a skin tone, okay? Like a light taupey skin tone. Like, I know my face kind of causes everything to blur, but it just, I don't know about that. You see like the shadow, the previous shadow underneath too. I mean, that kind of has like a satiny finish to it as well. I did it like right in there, and it blends in with my skin tone, so it's okay, whatever. But that's called Pink Lace. I wouldn't necessarily describe that as pink. Even like, I could see like maybe if you wanted to call it like a vintage lace. I don't know. And then finally the last one is Mallow. Yeah, Mallow, I guess like marshmallow. I don't know. Is that even, yeah, marshmallow would be spelled with the A and not E, right? Had a cat hair in there. Okay, so this is very much a light tone. This is very much a fair, like a very fair skin tone right there. Good like brow bone highlight tone. Yeah, so that's them all swatched. I don't know if that's, you can see it. That one was a little chalky feeling, but you know, because it's a lighter color, maybe that's why. Maybe it just looks that way. Yeah, so still stained. Some of the it started off good. It started off real good, and the end isn't that bad. Just kind of questionable names, that's all. That's me being like, huh? Quality wise, like they swatched really, in general they swatched really well. I'm kind of wondering like how they blend out. Let me wait for my fingers to kind of dry off. I want to see, like, you can kind of see how like they trail off at the end, which I feel like that's an indication that they probably will blend out well, because I mean they start off smooth and then they kind of trail off. Like, you know, you still got a flow of pigment. It doesn't just stop and get patchy. So I feel like that means that they blend out well. Because you know sometimes you'll do a swatch and then it kind of gets like rough and patchy and then the color just all of a sudden disappears. But in general, yeah. Alright, let me try to blend out some of these. Like that. You see that? I think they blend out nice. I mean, so far, like, and those are mainly like matte shades right there, so that's what people, I would think, I mean, that's what I would, if I were using them, those would be the ones that I'd be blending out. Like, you know, in the crease and the outer. Oh, thought I broke my nail there. Oh, jeez. So, I mean, just based off of this, I think it's a great bargain. Like, if you don't have the means to get the Urban Decay, or you can't get the Urban Decay, or like I said, like the Smoky Palette, like this is a dupe for, I can tell you, this is a dupe for the Smoky Palette, which has been discontinued. Sometimes Urban Decay will bring back these discontinued palettes, or their discontinued palettes, but I haven't seen Smoky in several years, so I think it's like officially discontinued. But if you didn't get Smoky from Urban Decay, this, I mean, I ain't mad. I ain't mad that I got this, you know? If I'm ever feeling like the neutral vibes, I would probably, like if I wanted to legitimately do like a true smoky eye, this would be the palette that I'd probably turn to first. Like, I'd probably choose this over like most of my Morphe palettes, okay? Like, let's be real, Morphe is like hit or miss. I'd probably choose this over my ColourPop ones too. The funny thing is, ooh, okay, which color is that? Spice. Spice blends out nice. Spice has got, she got some force to her. She ain't going quietly. She blends out. Like, she blends. Like, these shimmer, well, I keep wanting to say shimmery, but they're not shimmery. These kind of pearly satiny ones, you get a lot of bang for your buck with those. They blend so nice. Oh my goodness. And they still, like, they blend, but they still retain their pigmentation while blending. Like, if you're wanting to blend them out, you need to go light when applying, because they're gonna blend. But they're gonna blend for a long time. They're gonna spread the wealth, let's just put it that way. I'm assuming that you can still find these at Aldi. They may be sold out. I'm sorry if you're looking for them now and they're sold out. But from what I've seen, apparently they've done a series of naked dupe palettes before. And apparently from that previous time, they had a dupe of the Naked One palette. So, and I think they had a dupe of Naked Heat, which you can currently buy Naked Heat on sale. I think from, well, Sephora had it for like $29 or $29.50. But personally, I'm not interested in those colors, at least at the moment. Or like every time they've had it on sale, I have not been, like, sometimes I have to be interested in the color story. Like, I ain't feeling the color story, but sometimes I do, like, out of nowhere get this little whim that, hey, I want that color story, but I ain't feeling it. I currently haven't been feeling it since it came out. So yeah, I'm just gonna, again, this wipe is pretty much dried out. Anyway, I'll finish cleaning this up later. But yeah, again, if you find these at Aldi and you're questioning whether or not to get them, I say it's worth the gamble. It's worth $6. Like, as long as you're not, like, as long as you're not in a situation where it's either this or food. If it's either this or food with your money, then go for the food. But, I mean, if you have that some extra money, you're not going to be throwing it away. Like, if you want something that's like Urban Decay, I mean, it's not exactly Urban Decay quality. Well, maybe actually this one kind of is. Like I said, I just have, like, the only Naked palette that I really have had full experience with is the Naked 3 palette. Now, some of the other a lot of the other Urban Decay, especially the older palettes, quality. Some of this newer stuff, questionable. But, yeah. I'd say this is definitely a yes. So, that's a win.